It's Linda here, and today we're going to make a beautiful memories box. It's something that I wanted to make for a while, and today's the day. A memories box of an area that you know using the Laser Map Maker's maps and a box from Boxes PY with a few adjustments. So let's go into Mooloolaba Memories and start from there. When I'm working in here, I'm still using the presets that the guys set up. I find them useful, and I haven't really extended myself. I might do one day, but I just go into the presets area and go from there. I have made, so this has already happened, this one. I have made the parameters a little different. Down here I've got the border just at 5, so as that when I come to create the map on a box, I don't have this big engraved border to bother with. And I'm not actually using the outside border, which you'll see, because of how it needs to fit to the lid of the box. So all of them have got a 5 pixel border width. Apart from that, it's a normal base for a map. And we're going to have beautiful bits of blue coming through from the basswood that I painted. So some of this is with basswood, and some of it's with my ply. And so to make it all work, I downloaded the box at a slightly bigger setting because my ply is 3.2. So I just do a little more than that so that the holes line up. Yeah. So I'm going to meet you over now. I'm going to go, because I've done the export. Do you guys know how to export? Let's preview it so we can see it. And here we go. I did the magic of cutting out all the download bit. And we are here now at the place where you can see I'm going to download the land layer cut, the engrave, and the roads cut layer. And you can see them here with that little tiny border. The border is important for me in how I download things and load them up. So you can see how those are. Now I have already downloaded these, so I'm going to take us over to Creative Space, which is where I work, and show you these steps. Now you can see from the note I made here to remind me what to tell you, we're going to overlay the entire map over the box parts. Now let me just show you over this side. I have the box here and I've taken the lid away. I'm going to cover that now while we're here. So when you download this particular box, the lid will come in at 102 for the cut, and then the actual lid guide comes in bigger than what I've got here. I have made it so as that it has an easier fit. And when I cut it out like this. So you'll see that's the same size as the lid. And the piece that's left it becomes the guide when you're gluing the lid on. So you just glue to this inner piece, and you're guiding the whole lot over the same size piece. Does that make sense? So it's easier. It's just way easier to glue it. And just a quick insert here to show you some photos. The first one is of the ply that I buy, and I've painted it blue. That's the blue I like for my water layer. And the next one you'll see is the cut lines from it being inside the S1. And the third one is showing you the guide that I spoke about, the external guide, which is the same size as the lid, and the blue piece, which becomes the lid guide. And this is the base. So the base of this particular box is going to be the loaded design of the map, overlaid and engraved. And that's down here. We're just going to make that now. So if I go here, so we're going to put the 3 layers to be engraved on the box parts, but we'll set them up here. Okay, there's one that I did earlier, but I want to do this with you. Come here, you. Right, I had them set up somewhere. Right, we're going to take these. So see these? I've set these up for cutting as well. Now the lid size was 100, and the underlay size, I need that to be the blue for the water. So I have adjusted these so that they fit and overlay the water correctly. As you do this with boxes, if it's something that you want to do, you'll understand what I'm doing. So I'm going to copy these and take them up to here. There we are. And pull them into here. And now that we've got them set up here, we're going to have a look at how we want them to come out, because we actually want them to come out just using the score, not the engrave. So we're going to take this whole box here and make it score, and we want the score to be quite heavy. And this one here, we're going to do a tiny little bit of work too, because we don't need all of that stuff that's in there, do we? So let's just have a look at it. We'll ungroup it, and then I remind myself to group it again. So this piece here, we don't need at all, because we've still got the surround, and this surround here, we will make a silly colour, and we will call it no output, because we don't need the square on the outside. And actually it's the same for this outside here too. We don't need for that to cut. Here's me reminding myself to group this again. Okay, and then we'll go in here. It's a compound vector, so we will release the compound vector and then go to this, make it no output, and make it that light purple. You see what I'm doing? We really only need the inside, so we will put that back together again, just group it. And then over to this last one over here. We'll ungroup and make the outside that light purple. Go away, whatever you are, and no output. And then group it again. I'm still learning with this, so that's all good. Right, here we go. So now we can do what we did before. So that's complete. So is that. And so is that. And then we go here. No, we don't. We go here. And we align center. And now they're all together. Let's have a look at them close up. And you can see that was going to be a cut line, but now they're actually going to be all score. We're going to go to engrave and call it score. Okay, there was something else. We've ignored that and ignored that. Cool. So that goes, and make that an entire group. It is grouped. There you go, or is it? Hopefully. And that particular part, we want to be big enough to go over these boxes. So I'm going to do copy, and then we'll go to this one, and we're going to do paste, and then take this over to here, and stretch it out to fit the map. You can go out of the way now, words, because we've got you sussed. And inside that, we have got the box parts, which will be liberally sprinkled with the map. Now I've already done this work, so I'll show you that in pictures coming up next. Okay, another insert here. So the first picture you'll see here is one of when the the S1 had finished cutting, and you can see that it's created the box base exactly how we set it up. And then the picture after that shows you how some of the roads line up. They don't line up everywhere. I think I'd have to get more skilled in what I did to make them line up everywhere. And then on from there to where you see the actual box set up. And after that is the box where I have lined it with blue felt. And to get the blue felt the right measurement, I just used the actual insert shape, and it was perfect. So that's those bits all ready to go, and it's on to the next. Now the next part for us to do is to create the actual layers that we're going to cut and apply them to the lid. This is the next part. So I've shown you how the lid part works, and I've just written here that I used wood glue for the first join. The reason for that was I wanted to have the time to settle it and to get all my edges lined up. And then I was brave enough to use a quick glue when joining the top layer. And you'll see how that works when I show you the finished product in a picture. So we'll get these words out of the way. You can go out over there somewhere. Right, now what we've got up here are the three parts that we want to play with. Except my computer slows down. I bought a reasonably inexpensive one because I just thought, oh, it's just going to talk to the it's just going to talk to the S1, and I actually would say that you could do with a bit more because it wanders about every now and then. Now I just want to go back to the lid layer and show you what we're going to do next. Up the top here where we've overlaid it, off to the side, remember I had the lid. Now we need to take this part here and this part here as a copy down to the bottom so that we can work on what we're doing. So we'll copy that and we'll come down to this canvas here and paste it and find it somewhere. Here they are. The very base layer is the layer that holds the lid inside the outline of the box. And this part here is the top, which we will drag into here. And, oh, it does have the right output. Cool, so that's not going to come up. Actually, we don't need that thing saying top in there, do we? We can just kill it. We already know it's the top. Now that's the actual top layer, outside layer of the maps. And what we need to do from here, we need to send that one out of the way. We don't need you anymore. And we need to pull in the parts to create the layers of the map. We know the blue layer is going to be solid. We need the cut layer and the engraved layer together, and the top layer. So here are the three layers that we're working with now, separate. Remember we joined them together for the box layer, and this is the lid layer. So we've got to do two things here. So we will duplicate this, if I can find it. Hopefully there's only two. Yes, there are. And we actually don't want, well, yes we do, we want them both to cut, don't we? It's so much easier when you do this without having to tell someone what to do. You know that, you've got to really think about it. We'll make this red so we know we're cutting. So we've got two layers, and the third layer, which is the blue, is the holding on layer. Right. So what do we do first? We do an overlay of these two. And remember we took out this blue layer before, And did we make? Yes, I'm doing the job again, I know. But this is the engraved layer. We do need all of this to cut. And my cut mechanism that works for my machine and my timber is 95 and 15, and I like to lower the focus just for whatever comes up. So that's that, and this is all going to be engraved. So we will, hang on, I like to see it happen. There we go. That's better. And with the engrave, I'm going to make it as dark as possible because it comes up quite light. So we're going to, you have to look at your timber, and you might have to do it twice, which isn't a problem. Just set it up to engrave first and do the cut very last when you know everything's the colour that you want. But the normal one's here, and I think really I would like to go there to give it some guts and some colour. Okay, and then we can put that back together as a group. Now before we put this together, I want to show up that this has got no output, but we'll make sure that's a group. And this one here, see, we're not specifically cutting this, we're cutting my lid, which is 100.2, and we made this 95 so that it fitted within the blue of the underneath layer, the holding on layer. So what I need to do with this is release it again. We did this before, but I'm just obviously doing it again. Let's take that and don't have any output. I'm just going to make sure that's the only line, because somewhere along the line we had a couple. Yep, that's the only line. Cool. So now we will group that again. Yep. And we've got that one, and that one, and we will center them. How's that? And now what we've got is only one lot of cuts down here for these two that we're putting on. All the rest is score, except this engraved one. We want that to be engraved so that it actually looks like roads. And we've got it quite dark, remember. And this one here, we need to change that to cut now that I look at it, don't we? Because it's going to cut the... You're bearing with me, aren't you? And we go back to my favourite. Set up 95 and 15 and lower the focus. I really think we're coming together with this. So this whole one here, we will take down and center up on this one. Yep. And this whole one here, and this one we will center. Look at that. And now we've got the two to cut. And when you look over here, the cut, well, you can see how it changes. The cut is exactly what we want. We want the very outside, which is this, except somewhere in there, there's a cut line. I'm going to have to come back to that. Give me a minute. This is all showing up as a cut and not multiple out. Okay, give me a minute. I'll do it off screen. Or do you want me to show it to you here? Because I did it wrong. I'm just going to ungroup him. Put him up there. I thought I had sorted out all those lines. So we will ungroup you and see what we've got. We need that line, but I thought we'd made that no output. There's only one, isn't there? Yes. So, no output. Excellent. So now the only cut lines are those. Perfect. I suppose showing you mistakes is good. Oh dear. Now we're centering, which is using the shift key. There we go. Now we've got the two items to cut, and we've got the cut layer sitting how I want it to, which is 95/15 and lower the focus. The engraved layer we made longer, and everything else is ignored. And now I'm going to take you over to the finished product and show you how I put it all together. And here I am just inserting this next description. So you can see we've got the blue base that we're using for the alignment of the lid, and the surround becomes important here because the first layer we put on, which is the land cut and land engraved layer, needs to line up with the outer portion of this set. And this is the one where I used the wood glue, which gave me time to line it all up properly before the glue set. And then when you see the lid in one of the next pictures, you'll see that the top layer, the road cut layer, has been glued on to line up, and on that one I used quick-set glue and also supported some of the smaller roads that were just ending and looking a bit fragile. And all up it lined up beautifully. It's just a lovely set, a memory of Mooloolaba using the maps. I hope you enjoyed this, and I'm going to see you in my next creation, which is playing around in my head. I was thinking Mooloolaba Mermaids might be the go. Play with a mermaid and maps. How's that? I'll see you there, gorgeous beings. Hope you enjoyed this. Bye for now.